Hi guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, Sugar Acid Darling. Thank you guys so much for clicking once again. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And tell my OGs, you know what to do. Comment down below, let me know, gang. Now, finally, we have some good news coming out of Ontario. The province of Ontario has been carrying this entire Canada because tell me why for the past how many days we've been having like bad news, quote unquote, coming out of the province. A lot of people have been writing, not just the province, the country. We've been having different types of announcements. Understand that this bad news is even relative because bad news for one person is good news for another person. So when they're cutting international students on one hand, okay, those that are in the country will say, okay, finally they can maybe see jobs or see cheaper houses or whatever. So that's basically it. So we have good news from Ontario. Let's get right into it. Now, Ontario just today announced that they've increased their PMP allocation. Now, PMP is the provincial nomination. When you get a PMP or an NOI, which is notification of interest, which means you've been invited by the province, this is the allocation that gives you 600 points. Right now, the express entry draw is like 500 and something. So whatever your point is, if Ontario should nominate you, you get extra 600. That means you are very sure of getting the express entry PRO by the next draw. You understand? So this particular thing is good news especially for students that are here in Ontario, knowing fully well that for those that are in Ontario and probably want to keep staying here, they can apply for this route. Even those out of Canada, you can apply if your category is in the specific categories that Ontario is looking for. You can apply out of town. Definitely, you will still get your 600 points or NOI if it's sent to you. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All right, so I'm going to be adding a clip from Kuber Kamal and we'll discuss.
Well, big news coming out of Ontario. Ontario, you beauty. Well, the news is that they have increased their allocation, provincial nominee program allocations for this year to 21,500. Now, this is an increase by 5,000. Why? Because for 2023, this allocation was only at 16,500. Earlier, for the year before, it was roughly 9,750. So from 9,750, it went to 16,500, and now by 5,000 more than 21,500. Basically means that more nominations for human capital priority draws, more invitations for international student stream, more invitations for master's PhD stream, more invitations overall. On the other hand, province like Alberta has had their nomination quotas reduced. The allocations are reduced. Their early allocation was 10,150, reduced to 9,750. Why, you would assume? But as of right now, for Ontario, this is good news. 21,500 nomination allocations. That's what you got.
All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So this particular increase, they've gotten it up to 21,500 for 2024. You know, they increased it by 5,000 because last year was 9,750. Oh no, last year was 16,500. 2022 was 9,750. 2021 was 8,350. So right now they've increased it by additional 5,000 people, and this increase probably, of course, it's a good sign. It shows that it will be a significant boost in invitations for skilled workers and international students that are in here. Now, you know why this thing can be confusing somehow? Is that on the one hand you're complaining about housing and all of this, and then these are like people that even if you say you're looking for extra 5,000, do you know that the people that will have their hopes pumped up will be way more than 5,000? Do you understand? So I don't know. At the end of the day, is it not confusing? Because one hand we are saying we don't want people, the next hand we are looking for who to bring, and even increasing allocation. I heard the one for Alberta was reduced. The PMP allocation for Alberta was reduced. So these changes keep going like day by day. BC had done some PMP draws last week, or no, I think maybe 3 days back. And Ontario, you still have to pay the application fee, the distinct fee, I think $1,000 or something like that. So yeah, just do your findings. If there's anything that is very technical, of course I can check for you guys and let you know. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So that's the first major good news, that OIMP has been increased by 5,000 and people will see more invitations here. Now the second one is the study permit allocations. Now, you know that one of the things that we did not know for sure was concerning the numbers that have been allocated to these various provinces in terms of study permit. So update from Julius to Canada, shout out to you. It says Canada announced study permit allocations for all provinces and territories. Okay, so British Columbia, their projected study permit target was 83,000, but they approved 49,800 for them. So you can see the difference. Prince Edward Island projected 2,312. They were approved 1,202. Quebec projected 117,917. They approved 43,629. So if you're not getting your attestation letter, it's most likely that the school has withdrawn your application, because some people are still worried about attestation. I feel like most of the attestations have gone out. The next thing you can do is probably to contact the school directly. For Yukon, they projected 417. They were approved 250. For New Brunswick, they projected 14,651. They approved 5,567. That's a large chunk they took out. For Nunavut, they projected 333. They were approved only 200. For Manitoba, they projected 18,652. They approved 9,140. For Northwest Territories, they projected 333. They were approved 200. For Alberta, they projected 40,894. They were approved 24,537. For Newfoundland and Labrador, they projected 3,153. They were approved 1,419. For Ontario, they projected 235,000. They were approved 141,000. You can see that even if Ontario's projection to approval rate was high, the one that they even approved for them is significant. But understand that Ontario has a lot of schools, so this one is going to have to go round. Now there's a catch. Let me continue reading. For Saskatchewan, they projected 15,054. They only approved 7,226. Now the total, let me read. He said he had Nova Scotia in the comments in his post. He said Nova Scotia, they projected 20,378. They approved 7,744. That's for Nova Scotia. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So the total across Canada, the projected study permits was 552,095. The approved study permits was 291,914. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So this is very plain. I feel like I like this method where everybody's upfront with what they were told to get, so that even the students can see schools that are the provinces that are not having so much in terms of allocation, and you know how to better advise yourself. So something that he was able to point out, he said in a post today, he said, to my understanding, from the announcement made by Macmillan on January 22nd, Masters and PhD are not included in the study permit cap of 364,000. However, the recent allocation update announced today seems to include the assumed number of Masters and PhD in the cap, further reducing the approved study permits for 2024 to 292,000 after adjustments. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Do you understand? Like, what they had said was that they are looking for 364,000. That's where they are bringing it down to. So why are we getting the approval rate of not even close to that amount? It then means they added Masters and PhD. Our approval rate now is 291,914. Initially, Macmillan said PhD and Masters are not counted inside this thing. So now for them to have applied that PhD and Masters, that's part of why these numbers had to come down. So we lost a couple of thousands in the numbers because they had to make room for Masters and PhD. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So that really is the cocoa, is the big deal. Now, for those of you that are going to be schooling in Saskatchewan, I need to point this thing out for you guys. Some colleges in Saskatchewan are asking students to provide SOP and proof of fund before they can get PAL. I called it. I knew that soon it will start like this. I knew soon schools will become a lot tougher, because imagine you give 200 people, you understand, you give 200 people that attestation. Instead of 200, 100 pay only first term and go, they run away to go and seek asylum or something. You know, the school wanting to get SOP and proof of fund and all of that is probably having to hold you to your word that you would pay fees on time and all of that. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. For me, that's just basically it. Julius had gone out to write. He said, if you're planning to study in Saskatchewan, you may be required by your college to submit the following before you can get provincial attestation later: proof of fund for living expense, outstanding tuition fee, transportation depending on your family size and program duration. You can use a sponsor or GIC. Then the second one is statement of purpose. Write up explaining why you want to study in Canada and how it will help you, because each institution has limited number of powers to issue. They want students to confirm their intent with the above. Do you want to study, work, visit, or become a permanent resident of Canada? So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This is basically the update from Saskatchewan. Anybody that is going there, I feel like you should always be in talks with your school. You not just Saskatchewan, just generally. If you haven't gotten your PAL yet, please contact your school. Update from Trudeau concerning this housing crisis, because the truth is, you said you're solving housing crisis. Why are you still increasing here, touching here? Too much press conference shall no good though. Anyways, what did Trudeau do for our house crisis? You will not believe it.
Are being priced out of their communities, and that's not okay. So we have to help nonprofits and community partners acquire units and preserve rents at a stable level. That's why we're here to announce the $1.5 billion Canada Rental Protection Fund.
All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So essentially, the Canadian government has launched a 1.5 billion Canada Rental Protection Fund to acquire existing apartment buildings to preserve affordable rental units. This initiative aims to prevent conversion of rental units into higher priced market units, addressing the growing housing affordability crisis. The fund includes 1 billion in loan and 470 million in contributions to non-profit groups and partners to acquire rental units and maintain affordable rent prices. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, in plain English, those big high-rise buildings that have already, probably they are owned by companies, you know, most of these insurance companies or banks own those buildings. They put it for rent, and that's where they keep money to build interest for their customers. Now the government wants to acquire most of those buildings because old apartments have like a steady rent income, you understand, like steady rental amounts. But what happens is people that are like investors can buy, do 1 or 2 renovations and updates, and before you know, those buildings go up in price. And you see, anybody that even packs out from an old building, the next tenant is not paying that same amount. I have friends that are paying like 1,500 on big apartment buildings. If they leave that place, the next tenant may pay up to like 2,000. So to preserve the rents, the government wants to purchase the entire building so that those that are there are protected and they know that that's the amount they are paying. Okay, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, the part I don't really understand is that 1 billion out of this money is in loans. And you know that the Prime Minister had talked about giving loans to buildings or to companies that build, you know, to those companies to build. So they are going to give you this loan. Let's say the normal loan you would have taken from bank was 7.5 or 10%. The government will give you at a lower interest, so that when you build this housing units or whatever, your rent, you put a certain rent cap. I do not know if many companies will come forward for that kind of arrangement, because you know, with the Canada government, everything is not just plain. If they are giving you this money, they are giving you the money with certain clauses. So what do you think is a better option? Should we buy up more houses, or use this how many billion and build houses that would be able to protect the rents? Why? Because they know that with the current inflation, with this money, if you build let's say a condo or an apartment complex, putting the rent at 1,500 will not even be realistic. It will probably be at a loss. So they are trying to purchase buildings on ground, and now which of these buildings will sell, if at all they will? Guys, let me know your thoughts, because I'm looking at it from a business point, I'm looking at it from also the government point, and which one would achieve a faster result in terms of this housing crisis is a serious matter. And that's why in the last video, people are saying, oh, you're being too critical. Listen, we want house now, right? With the way we are going back and forth, this year will end. It's not even cost. I've been here for 1 year. Eglinton is still under construction. They will not cut tape. And it's not even funny. The fact that we'll be going back and forth and in circles, round and round, putting money on the table. The money on the table is not useful if the money is not directed at certain things. Now, these companies that are coming forward, what is the timeline? Can we also give them timeline or time frame so that they can finish these buildings fast? Sean Fraser raised the point about building in a warehouse kind of manner where they can do the outer structure, and then when colder months come, they can be working on the inner structure, whatever. Which companies have come forward? Are they looking at it? What is the clause? Let the people know, like, steps are already on ground, so that if you are looking at next year or by the end of the 2 years cap, international students will know where they stand, because they'll say, okay, Canada has been able to fulfill a certain amount of housing. You understand? And this is not just Ontario. Every other part of the country needs housing. Okay, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. For me, I just want a situation whereby you're doing these things because you care about your people, not just because election is around the corner. We care about building houses. I don't care if you want to bring people in or you want to keep people out. That is not going to build house. Let's build on the ones on ground. If we have 1.5 billion, okay, how much is the land? How much are we paying the rights of the natives? How much are we putting on ground for this? How much? Those are the kind of actionable steps we need from project managers to even they should be doing this press conference with the engineers on ground. That way, for me, I feel like it will even yield faster results. If you want to play politics, play the politics that will convince us. Guys, with me, I'm Nigerian now. I'm telling you that we have seen things. So when we are being critical, it's because we know how these things are done, and the fact that they are not even putting enough effort to lie the lie is paining me. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. However, this is good news. Good news for us, the renters. Good news knowing that the government, of course, is going to preserve your rent, but then we need more inventory, because after a while, when the government preserves rent, guess what? Even the renters will start subletting. Yes, that's the part of economics that people don't know. Now that we know that we are safe as renters, guess what? I can get a second bed and then sublet to somebody else to stay inside with me. You know, because inventory is not increasing and demand will definitely increase. Where would they stay? Where would they stay? It will still backfire. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yes, I just needed to add that point. And yeah, it's still good news. Good news for us that Ontario has increased their PMP. Good news for us as students. At least we know exactly what is obtainable in terms of the amount of people that are given to each province. And then good news for renters in Canada that the government has taken the first step. It's good. We applaud your first step, but still we have to tell you things and realities on ground, because they are not on ground with us. They need to hear from people that are on ground and hear the current realities. You understand? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I remain your girl, Darlene. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Check out my other videos and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.